The first-person shooter has come a long way since Wolfenstein and Doom birthed the genre, but sometimes I want to go back to the way those early games played. Don't get me wrong, I love the modern shooter, but I think they can coexist with the ultra fast-paced shooter of the past. And Hard Reset is perfect support for that belief. While your character runs through the level at 80 miles an hour, blowing up everything in his way by circle strafing around it until it dies, the game has also brought in modern improvements to the genre in a way that mostly works. The game's biggest change over the bombastic shooters of yore is the introduction of a gun upgrade system, a talent tree, more or less. At first glance, it seems like Hard Reset only has 2 guns in its entirety, especially given that you just switch between them by using the Q and E keys. But as you dig into the upgrade stores scattered around the map, you realize that there are far more weapons, each a mod for those 2 base guns. It's an interesting approach, and it allows the player to pick which guns they want first, instead of being forced to pick up and make use of whatever new gun a new level introduces. Instead of waiting until level 4 to get the rocket launcher, you can choose to get it instead of the shotgun. The problem is that means there's not a ton of visual variety to the different weaponry. The machine gun in grenade launcher mode just doesn't look all that different than it does in its default mode. That might seem like a case of extreme nitpicking, but some of the greatest fun in old shooters like Doom and Quake was picking up a new gun with its own unique look and effects. In fact, the aesthetics of Hard Reset just don't really deliver in general. The same enemies appear over and over again, and the neon cyberpunk look of the city is neat at first, but quickly grows tiring thanks to the reuse of assets. Despite being a bit of a letdown in the visual department, Hard Reset does absolutely nail the core shooting mechanics, which is definitely the most important aspect of an old school shooter like this. Aiming is every bit as precise as it needs to be in order to keep up with the game's brutal difficulty curve, and movement is fast enough without being too fast to just lose the plot. In short, it feels absolutely perfect. I am quite disappointed with the lack of that visual pop that used to be such a huge part of these sorts of games. But at the same time, I do realize that the budget these games get, especially Hard Reset, just isn't what it used to be. These are no longer big AAA games, and honestly, we're sort of lucky to be getting them at all. With the gameplay beautifully intact, I am more than happy to give the aesthetics a pass. Pretty much everything about Hard Reset other than the core gameplay is at least a bit disappointing, from the repetitive enemies and environments to the god-awful voice acting and storytelling animatics. But the shooting is so good that I would wholeheartedly recommend this game to anyone who longs for the shooters of yore. Besides, it's not like a lot of those games had much beyond their shooting either. Every Friday, I look at games that were either ignored when they came out or have been forgotten since. Games that people have missed. If you like that idea, be sure to subscribe so you can see my latest videos. If you like this review in particular, be sure to hit that like button, and thanks for watching.